All right, Gabrielle, this is going to be a really special, different SAG Awards. How are you feeling about it, and what do you hope comes off differently? How do you feel like this is different?
Well, this is different on so many levels. I mean, just on the basic level that we have Kristen Bell. It's the first time for us to have a woman, hosting the event, or just a host. And here we have this fabulous, dynamic, powerful, bright woman hosting during a time when women and power and stepping into our lives is occurring. So it's quite wonderful. This has been a very intense time. And so I think for me, this is about us really recognizing that it takes both great men and women to stand together. And that's what's great about the awards. I'm glad that we have our women presenters, but we also have our men who are really standing front and center as well. And I think that's important if we're really going to make systemic change.
You mentioned earlier this week in another interview that SAG as a group is working on sort of organizational measures to put forth. What's the current status of that? What do you hope comes from that?
Well, for SAG-AFTRA, we've actually been doing a lot. We've been doing a lot before all this. So for us, our 24-hour hotline that we've had that's live, we even up that game a little bit more to make sure that people have immediate response in certain situations that weren't necessarily being identified. When members are calling, we need to give language so everybody understands. And so we've really made sure about that. We're doing a lot of, and we're going to be doing this around the board, but we do already sexual, conduct and the way you're supposed to be acting even on a set, harassment issues. So we're going to be doing more training there because we think it's important. And we also have a sexual conduct brochure that we're putting out for actors not only on the sets. Our jurisdiction takes place on the sets. But the truth is that some of the situations you're hearing about are happening in casting or with producers or outside of that realm. So we're working on that code of conduct, and we just came back from California at the State Senate in Sacramento. And we're working on sexual harassment laws, which we actually passed with Republicans and Democrats, language that needed to be shifted, and we're going to be bringing that now to the federal. These laws have to be tightened, and so it's really wonderful. We had Chantal Cousineau, who's an actress who had been a victim of one of the perpetrators, and it was public, and she went to speak for us in Sacramento, and we're joining together with a lot of organizations because this work is going to be ongoing. For us to think that it's just going to happen because people are speaking out, it's not that. We have to change laws, we have to change practices, we have to use our voices, we have to be strong, and that's what we're doing.
And just lastly, to change streams a little bit, what's one of the performances this year in film or TV that really moved and inspired you?
First of all, I'm the president. Every performance moves and inspires me, but I want you to know I loved the projects this year. I thought they were interesting, different. They weren't done in the typical way. A lot of our stories, when you look at how they've been done, were so interesting, and great women roles. I mean, if we're talking about celebrating women, there is a shift taking place. And I think the idea that there's so much inclusivity and diversity going on in the projects, I loved them all. And I can't say what my favorites were, but I can say they were great. And I'm proud.
Thank you so much, Gabrielle. Rita Moreno. Oh, that's Gabrielle Carteris, SAG-AFTRA president.